Hi everybody. Yeah, I had another news story real quick I needed to share with you. This is very important too, very crucial to Bible prophecy. I found this on the Newsmax site at newsmax.com. This title story is John Bolton, Russia's loading of nuke fuel into Iran plant means an August 21 deadline for Israeli attack. Yeah, and this was put out Friday, the 13th of August 2010, so that was like a few days ago. And it says that the news that Russia will load nuclear fuel rods into the Iranian reactor has touched off a countdown to a point of no return, a deadline by which Israel would have to launch an attack on Israel's Bushehr, Bushehr reactor before it becomes effectively immune to any assault, says the former Bush administration UN Ambassador John R. Bolton. Once fuel rods are loaded, Bolton told Fox News on Friday afternoon, it makes it essentially immune from an attack by Israel, because once the rods are in the reactor, an attack on the reactor risks spreading radiation in the air and perhaps into the water of the Persian Gulf. The Russian Prime Minister Vladimir Putin declared in March that Russia would start the Bushehr reactor this summer, but the announcement for a spokesman for Russia's state atomic agency to Reuters Friday sent international diplomats scrambling to head off a crisis. The story immediately became a front page news in Israel, which has laid precise plans to carry out an attack on Iran's nuclear facilities while going along with President Obama's plans to use international sanctions and diplomatic persuasion to convince Iran's clerics not to go nuclear. Bolton made it clear that it was widely assumed that any Israeli attacks on the Bushehr reactor must take place before the reactor is loaded with fuel rods. If they're going to do it, that's the window that they have, Bolton declares. Otherwise, as I said before, once the rods are in the reactor, if you attack the reactor, you're going to open it up and radiation will escape at least into the atmosphere, possibly into the waters of the Persian Gulf. So most people think that neither Israel nor the United States come to that would attack the reactor after it's been fueled. Bolton cited that 1981 that Israeli attacks on Saddam Hussein's Bushehr reactor outside Baghdad and the September 2007 Israeli attack on a North Korean reactor being built in Syria. Both of those strikes came before the fuel rods were loaded into these reactors. So if it's going to happen in the Bushehr, it has to happen before the fuel rods go in. Bolton said that the conversation that touched off the de facto deadline for the Israeli military attack was a telephone conversation with wire services involving Sergei Novikov, a spokesman for Rosatom, the Russian energy state's nuclear corp. And Novikov said that the fuel will be loaded on August 21st, and this is the start of the physical launch of the reactor. From that moment, the Bushehr plant will be officially considered a nuclear energy installation, he said, and adding the head of the Rosatom, Sergio Kiriyenko, will visit Bushehr on August 21st to conduct a ceremony for the event. According to Bolton, once the reactor is operational, it is only a matter of time before it begins producing plutonium that could be used in a nuclear weapon. And the normal operation of this reactor is just a fairly short period of time. You could get substantial amounts of plutonium to use as nuclear weapons, Bolton told Fox. Russia, which is operating on a $1 billion contract with Iran, has spent more than a decade building the reactor. If Russia moves forward with this plan to fuel the reactor, it could be seen as a major setback to Obama's administration strategy of engaging Russian leaders in order to win their cooperation. The U.S. urged them not to send the Iranians fuel rods, Bolton said, and they did that. The Obama administration had urged them not to insert the fuel rods in the reactors, but as they just announced that they will begin next week, what that does over time is to help Iran get another route to nuclear weapons through the plutonium they could reprocess out of the spent fuel rods. The developments mean that Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu soon may face a stark choice: attack the Bushehr reactor in the next 8 days, or allow it to become operational, despite the certainty it will greatly enhance Iran's ability to create nuclear weapons. The Russian leaders have said that the Bushehr reactor project is being closely monitored by the International Atomic Energy Agencies and the UN's Nuclear Watchdog Group. According to the Iran's ISN, a news agency, IAEA, the inspectors will be on hand to observe the fuel rod loading processes that is now scheduled to begin August 21. According to the Russian officials, Iran has promised in writing to send all spent fuel rods from Bushehr back to Russia for reprocessing to ensure that they cannot be used for nuclear weapons. Bolton says that the reactor had been a hole in American foreign policy for over a decade. The failure to demand it to be shut down began in the Bush years, he said, and continued with the Obama administration under what I believe is a mistaken theory that Iran is entitled to the peaceful use of nuclear energy. I don't think that Iran is entitled to that, or I don't think we ought to allow it to happen, because they're manifestly violating any number of obligations under the non-proliferation treaty not to seek nuclear weapons, but this has been a hole in the American policy for some number of years, and Iran and Russia are obviously exploiting it, Bolton says. Russia move would put Iran in a much better position overall, and he said, adding, I think that this is a very difficult point. As I say, it closes off the Israelis one possible target for preemptive military action. UN sanctions against Iran, he said, have not been and will not have any material effect on Iran's push to have deliverable nuclear weapons. And that's the end of the article. So I just thought I'd bring you this information. It's very crucial information in regards to Bible prophecy. So we are at the point where if World War III is beginning to start, then we are very close to the time of Jesus return and coming back for his church, his bride. So if you're not ready, ask Jesus to be the Lord of your life, and be ready for his coming. Y'all take care. God bless. Bye-bye.